Hi, I'm Matt Finney.
And I'm Thomas Hunt.
And this is the Bad News Network. Two gunmen suicide bombers attacked the airport at Kabul, killing 60 Afghans, 13 Marines, and injuring over 140 people. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack. General Frank McKenzie stated that the perpetrators would be found and made to pay. Western officials had issued warnings that such an attack could happen, but droves of people hoping to escape Afghanistan remained. It is unclear what actions will be taken as the deadline edges closer. Another concern has been the revelation that U.S. officials have given a list of names of Americans and Afghan allies in order to facilitate the evacuation to the Taliban. To recap that last sentence, U.S. official gave the Taliban names of our Afghan allies. I'm hard-pressed to find an example of how this could go wrong, but I think, if I think hard enough, I'm sure I could find one. When asked about essentially handing the Taliban a kill list, the White House started pulling some F1 level turns to avoid culpability. Biden said, and I quote, "I can't tell you with any certitude that there's actually been a list of names. There may have been, but I know of no circumstance. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, that here's a list of names of 12 people, they're coming, let them through. It could very well happen." And the press just let this slide. Are you high? There would have been a mob with pitchforks and torches outside the White House in the last administration. Anyways, our hearts break for the Marines lost this week, and with any luck, there won't be another attack, but we all know that's a possibility. The guys on the ground know it too, and they're still there evacing people because that's what the they're made of. Unwavering, come and get someism.
Along with the other sad news being reported this week, this one hit home. William Neal Kennedy, a longtime fan of BNN, was stabbed to death and murdered by his wife in his home in Johns Creek, Georgia. Police were performing a welfare check on William when a concerned family member called police and feared someone at his house could be seriously injured. William's wife, Stephanie Ferguson Levin, was taken into custody and has been charged with felony murder and third-degree cruelty to children. The cruelty to children charge was included because both a 9 and 11-year-old were home at the time of the violence. She is being held rightly without bond. Fair winds, William, and may justice be found in your passing.
According to reports stemming from employees at the governor's mansion, disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo has been trying to offload his dog, Captain, onto whoever would take him. Captain has had a few incidents of nipping various staff members, so employees have been reticent to take ownership of the dog. One staff member apparently did for a short time before returning Captain, saying he's just too much to handle, he takes up the couch, and he stinks. Critics of Cuomo have naturally been blasting him over abandoning his dog. A spokesperson for Cuomo said he only wanted to find someone to take care of Captain while he vacationed. That would seem a stretch, considering the evidence, but it sounds like, because of the criticism, that the Captain gets to stay with his owner. A real bag of ship, as the sailors say.
The grown man who was formerly the model for the Nirvana Nevermind album has decided to sue Nirvana. Apparently, after a lifetime of being cool with it, even doing an anniversary shoot in 2016, Who Baby Spencer Eldon has decided he was prostituted as a child by the famed band. Officially, Eldon is saying the grunge royalty violated federal child pornography statutes and sexually exploited him by using his naked baby image on their album cover. The lawsuit alleges that the permanent harm he had proximally suffered includes, but is not limited to, extreme and permanent emotional distress with physical manifestations, interference with his normal development and educational progress, lifelong loss of income and earning capacity, loss of past and future wages, past and future expenses for medical and psychological treatment, loss of enjoyment of life, and other losses to be described and proven at trial. This has predictably drawn the ire of Nirvana fans across social media, stating that Eldon is just looking for a good payday. Agreed. Smells like teen bullshit, and we offer no apologies for that judgment.
OnlyFans announced that their terms of use would soon ban sexual content. Naturally, this had everyone scratching their heads as to what was the point of the whole platform in the first place. So essentially, they're announcing that they're just morphing into a less classy Patreon. Sex workers in particular were up in arms and legs, as OnlyFans had become their means of survival during the pandemic and set a new standard for how workers could profit on their profession. So as you can imagine, they weren't hyped about the change. But fear not, workers of sex and nudists. OnlyFans has decided to retract their previous announcement of limitations and set the nips and bits free. This near catastrophe was apparently because the banks had told OnlyFans that they would no longer do business with them because they're a borderline porn site. And unless they covered up, they were to the curb. Given the outcry and potential massive loss of revenues, it seems the banks have rethought their position. It's almost like they only care about money. Which I find particularly sad, as I was about to launch my own platform for baking naked. OnlyFans.
China is becoming quite crafty in their ongoing attempt to keep the origins of COVID limelight off of them. The most recent tactic? The I am rubber, you are glue tactic. That's right. Chinese propaganda now states that most logically, COVID had originated in the US bioweapons lab just outside of Washington, D.C., called Fort Detrick. They even made a rap video calling us out.
Open the door for Destruct, cause transparency's your favorite. And great, American first, we want the truth.
Oh, snap! China dropping them fat beats. This comes the same week that President Biden should be receiving a report on his desk about the intelligence probe into the origin of the virus. This just in, he did receive the intelligence probe. It came up inconclusive, or at least too vague to incur any action on the part of the White House. Be sure we want to use this term intelligence here?
And finally, in Florida news, 53-year-old Christine Thistle was arrested this week after she attempted to drown her boyfriend's cat. Police were called to a domestic disturbance that apparently started after Christine became upset that her boyfriend wasn't moving out fast enough from their trailer park. To remedy this, she decided to throw his pet cat, crate and all, into the river. Naturally. The cat Stanley is fine. The boyfriend heroically jumped in and saved it. Although soaked and scared, Stanley was found bundled up and recovering in the arms of his savior. No, not Sarah McLachlan. Thistle denied throwing the cat in the river, saying it simply jumped out of the bag. She was promptly arrested on charges of animal cruelty. While in custody, however, Thistle demanded to be allowed to make a phone call so that she could, quote, bond out and murder her ex-boyfriend. The police did not, in fact, allow her to make a phone call, thereby preventing yet another catastrophe. And with that, I'm Matt Finney.
And I'm Thomas Hunt.
And this is the Bad News Network. Our news is at least as bad as the news you're getting already, and we're wishing a speedy return from Tim Kennedy and Nick Palmisano, who vacationed to sunny Afghanistan to take names, literally, and put them on airplanes and get them the f*** out of there. Good luck, guys.